And let's get in Fundamental Voice on the show. Lots happening on the fundamental end, by the way. Taher Badshah, Senior VP and Co-Head Equities, Motilal Oswal Asset Management, joins us on the show. Taher, really good having you. It's been a while. Thanks so much for joining in.
Pleasure.
An important event of sorts slated for Monday. Do you think the market will have any kind of an impact because of the vote on account?
Well, I kind of tend to agree with the previous voice as well that I don't really see anything major coming out of the vote on account because many of the typical decisions which are there in a general normal budget with relation to inflation to indirect taxes, direct taxes, etc., import duties and so on is not going to probably be anything material in this budget and all will probably have to wait for the regular budget after the new government comes in. So from that perspective, there will not really be any great signposts for various kinds of sectors or industries or for the corporate sector in general. We'll have to only watch the baseline scenario of the 4.8% on the fiscal and probably also look at some of the elements as to how much is the postponing which is happening on spending and maybe how much have they budgeted in terms of receipts out of the recent disinvestments, telecom auctions and so on, plus the dividends payouts from some of the exceptional dividend payouts out of the PSU firms. So barring that, I'm quite hard pressed to see if that is going to probably lead to any excitement. I think what we have to probably focus on is some of the improvements in some of the macro indicators which has happened in the more recent weeks, and maybe that is what should find some fundamental liking for the market going forward.
Taher, there was just news from agencies that Egypt has imposed a one-year import ban on motorcycles. Bajaj Auto has reacted very adversely to that. How much of a detrimental impact do you think that it actually is, if you could comment specifically on this one?
Well, I think, I've just looked at the news flash just come in, and I believe apparently there is a 20% volume impact out of the monthly three-wheeler volumes that they do in their exports side. So that's something which is quite significant and should probably at a more consolidated level for the enterprise perhaps impact operating earnings by in the vicinity of around 5 to 6%. So that's also quite substantial. So I'm not surprised that the stock is reacting the way it is. Although it is a one-year moratorium, but that's something which is as of now an opportunity which is lost for them.
All eyes on SBI then, and the whisper word on the street is that we could get a number lower than what the estimate is of close to 2,500 crores. The whisper word is close to 2,200 crore rupees. How are you expecting SBI to perform today?
Well, hard to say as to, the more important thing, as you all know, is the numbers on the asset quality side, and we'll have to see what the scenario is as far as incremental slippages go, plus the overall gross NPA situation more than the net profit figure. So, but it's been quite a beaten down stock. I would also think that for PSU banks in general and for the banking space in general, I think I'm a little surprised as to why the market is not willing to take any cognizance of the moderating inflation indices and at least the fact that we are looking a little bit on the fiscal deficit side as well with some of those receipts which are coming in. So those probably seem to be, to my mind, more important for SBI, especially post its result. But today, of course, hard to say what the number will look like eventually, especially on the asset quality.
So short of time, but one quick word really on the IT space, because stocks are hitting fresh highs today, HCL Tech, TCS, and generally the mood is buoyant.
Yeah, I think so. No surprises there. We've spoken about it earlier as well that we'll progress well into IT even in the FY15 fiscal year, and the recent NASSCOM upping of guidance compared to the budgets for FY14 have further found fresh excitement with the market, and the story continues out there apace. There is still a lot of juice in terms of many of these companies, especially in the mid-cap space, and that's where quite a lot of the action is materializing.
Okay, Taher, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining in today and giving us your views and your opinion on the markets at large too. By the way, Bajaj Hindustan numbers are out, and I think on the net loss, there is a net loss that they have done of 389 crores. That's not good news. I mean, yes, it was expected that companies would not be in the black, but this is a disappointing number from a stock which has anyways been beaten down. A net loss of 389 crores. That's huge for Bajaj Hindustan as well, amongst the largest producers of sugar. But no, not a good quarter. The revenue front is okay, but the quarterly